Okay, while we're talking about law and order, let's talk about Multnomah County Sheriff and whether she will book people into jail who are arrested for violating Portland's homeless camping ban. Now, you may recall that the city has an ordinance, it's a city law, that makes it illegal to camp in many areas. If campers are offered available shelter and refuse, well, then they can be fined or taken to jail. But when the first person was actually taken to the jail, the sheriff said, no, we're not going to book. So when it comes to a carrot and stick, no stick there. The sheriff's decision was a shock to city leaders and apparently came because of a lack of collaboration. Imagine that. So after meeting with at least once, more than once, with the mayor since then, the sheriff, Nicole Morrisey O'Donnell, is easing up on her new rule, sort of. Now she says at some time in the future, she will allow illegal campers to be booked into the jail as long as there's a program in place to try to plug them into social services. We talked with the sheriff today. Listen closely to the second part of her comment here.
This is a city ordinance, so this requires extended collaboration between the city and the county and myself on how we're going to move forward, again, to ensure that we're prioritizing community safety and accountability, but also ensuring that there is a process in place when someone is booked into our booking center, that we're able to intervene in a time when someone may have a moment of clarity and be able to reconnect them with the Services Coordination Center, or any service that we're able to provide. And that was what we have been working on over the last couple of weeks.
Okay, so it's almost like the sheriff wants a sort of deflection style system set up for these folks once they're brought to the jail. Something that can be offered to them when they're passing through the jail. And by the way, yes, you did hear that correctly, passing through. Because if all they have done is violate the city camping ban, well, they are going to spend exactly 0 nights in jail and most likely will only be there for a few hours. Here's the sheriff again explaining what will happen when or if she agrees to book illegal campers sometime in the future.
So when someone is brought into our booking center, they will be searched and fingerprinted so we know the identity of the individual. They will their case will be looked at by a recognizance officer. The presiding judge's order will then guide the release. I anticipate that these individuals will remain in our custody for a few hours. I don't have information on what that looks like as we move forward and how the presiding judge's order will impact individuals that may come into our custody multiple times.
Okay, well, here's my take on all this. First, the idea here is to get homeless campers to accept help by threatening them with jail time if they refuse. That's the carrot and the stick. But guess what? No stick that I can see. At least it's not clear to me yet. Instead, I think we have a carrot and maybe a limp noodle. Let me explain. Tonight, the Multnomah County Sheriff is not going to allow homeless campers to be booked into her jail. Instead, she wants that program set up to offer them help one more time. Once that's all in place, then she will allow the bookings. Now remember, these people will have already had multiple offers before police showed up, and then police are going to offer shelter one more time before arresting them. So, okay, once the program is set up, the sheriff said it could be 2 weeks from now or even longer. Well, then people violating the camping ban in the Portland area can be booked. And during the 2 or 3 hours that they're at the jail, they'll be offered more services. And if they say yes, great. I hope it changes their life. And if they say no, well, they're still not going to be held at the jail. Instead, they're released back to what? Camping again. Check out these statistics from the city of Portland for the week of August 12th through the 18th. 51 people expressed an interest in a shelter referral. 46 people actually accepted shelter referrals. That means they're sent to a place. But just 16 people actually showed up and used a bed for at least one night. That means 34% of people who actually accepted a shelter referral even used it. And here's a big picture look going all the way back to 2022, according to the city. Total shelter referrals since April 11th, 2022, 5,009. Now, of that number, the total people who have used a shelter bed from that group, 1,742. Do the math. Once again, that's 34%. So I got to tell you folks, as I was researching and writing this up just a little while ago, I found myself saying, what are we doing here? We're spending tens of millions of dollars, probably more, setting up shelters that only 34% of the people camping illegally were offered are using. And the only tool that we have to stop illegal homeless camping, fines or jail, is actually so weak that maybe calling it a limp noodle is too generous? Now I know some of you are now throwing things, maybe noodles, at your screen right now telling me I've lost my mind. Maybe, but we do need to do some soul searching here. What we're doing is not working, and I'm not convinced the future holds much promise that that is going to change. That's my opinion anyway. You don't have to agree, but it would be nice if you communicated. Send me an email, will you? Let me know what you're thinking. The address is thestory@kgw.com, or call and leave a voicemail. The number's 503-226-5090.